Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cora News Network, not to be confused with CNN. Today, we will explore 2025's tech regulation debate, specifically focusing on AI laws in the US and China. Through a sociological lens, I'll be specifically focusing on the human impacts of this hot topic in our social world today. I'm going to start by analyzing two media platforms that have recently written articles on this topic. The first media platform is called Multi-Platform AI, and it's best described as an online news platform specializing in AI news and its applications in various industries. This news platform positions itself as a go-to source for current and up-to-date AI news, and it targets readers that are specifically interested in tech trends, so it's a bit more of a niche news source. And the second news source that I'm going to be analyzing from is called The Conversation, and this news source is based in America, and it's an independent nonprofit digital media outlet, and it has articles specifically written by academics and researchers that are edited by professional journalists. So the aim of this news source is to bridge academic publications and public news, and it aims to offer evidence-based analysis and expert perspectives on some of the most current issues in our nation today. So with that, I will be analyzing the US views and perspective on AI regulations. So in the US today, the Trump administration is rolling back federal AI rules to boost innovation. Many mainstream and not as mainstream media's sources are reporting and highlighting specifically on the economic gains of these rollbacks in federal rules. But some sociologists might look at rising inequalities in the workplace because of AI. So in the multi-platform AI article, it talks about California's 30 new AI laws that reflect a broader US tension between embracing AI's promises, specifically for economic gain, while also society's fears over AI's risks. Both of these views are deeply rooted in culture and public opinion in America. It highlights how Americans tend to view and value tech innovation, but also worry greatly about protections for tech employees. So this article highlights how California's actions resonate with a growing national unease about unchecked AI rules, shaping a divide in US views. This is deeply intertwined with an American culture that is pro-business, but also populist and regulatory, that has advocates rooted in labor unions. So another article written by The Conversation echoes US views on AI regulation, and it highlights it as a tug of war or a tension between freedom versus regulation, innovation versus protection, centralized power versus local state agency. So sociologically, this reveals a society grappling with AI's role in reinforcing or challenging social structures. This mirrors and emphasizes and echoes a public opinion in the US between embracing tech's promise and demanding accountability for tech giants. In 2025, this tension and division of public opinion is amplified by the Trump administration's rollback of regulations and also state responses to AI regulations. And so moving along to the Chinese side of this, these new AI regulations, the Chinese news outlet that I've chosen to analyze two sources from is China's official state-run news agency, and it delivers solely government-approved reports on national and global issues, and this news outlet often emphasizes China's role in international affairs. So the first article highlights how China tightens its AI oversight, prioritizing stability socially. It praises social harmony that China is facilitating, yet some sociologists will warn of eroded personal freedoms under Chinese AI surveillance. This first article frames China's image as responsible AI stewards, and it also critiques the US as being really profit-driven with its AI regulation. It uses an external voice, a Brazilian professor, to legitimize China's approach to AI. Some people see this pulling in of an outside voice as helping to align with a propaganda goal of global influence. And so another article from this national Chinese media source is a critique of U.S. AI policy shift. It reinforces Chinese narratives of superiority in managing AI reform, and these reflections reveal less about raw public opinion in China and more about how Chinese state media constructs its national identity. And in U.S., the AI race is rooted in really contrasting values, grappling with control versus freedom. But these articles both echo how China takes a unified and ethical national stance on AI regulation, as opposed to the U.S. having a divided view deeply rooted in public opinion. So, in conclusion, globally, AI regulation shapes lives very differently. Specifically in these two contexts of US versus China, it has deep undertones of freedom versus control. A sociological lens would reveal how these trade-offs affect communities, identity, and just overall human rights. I compared and contrasted US-Chinese media and AI regulation, and the US sources emphasized innovation, touching on job loss, while Chinese reports focused on order, overlooking potential privacy issues or surveillance. My Western background initially might make me biased towards the US view of valuing freedom over social stability, but researching the topic sociologically has shifted my perspective to focus on important human costs like inequality and surveillance. Staying impartial throughout this process was difficult. I had to balance my enthusiasm for American tech with its social fallout and potentially exploitive aspects. So using a sociological lens helped me prioritize the people aspect over the policy aspect. And most importantly, I saw how overall just media shapes our understanding of globalization and the different impacts it has on people.